Number 10. City of Sanctuary. A popular VR game fantasy swept the world when it was released to the public. And after many times of work, some people found out that they can enter the game in another way, which makes it possible for people to bring the items and skills they obtained in the game back to reality with them. But at the same time, there was a setback, as dying in the game would also mean dying in real life. This story follows the journey of a young man named Fang Tian who has been in the game world for more than 10 years. But when he came back to reality, the world he knew was completely changed. Although this manhwa has over 100 chapters, the art and the story of this manhwa is average. The main character is also strong from the start and doesn't fear anyone. So if you have nothing else to read, then you can try reading it. Number 9. Flow. In this world, every child is born under a god. Some gods are weak while others are strong. Children born under weaker gods were not allowed to attend high school. But every god has one thing in common: they grant wishes if the correct price is paid. This manhwa is about a boy named Lirang who turns back time a day and pays dearly for it. Now, to reverse his wish, he must attend high school and try to use the power of his god once again. The story is amazing from the start and doesn't get boring till the end. The main character is weak at the start but trains hard to slowly become stronger. He goes through character development with the story. This was an amazing manhwa and I highly suggest you read it. Number 8. Promised Orchid. The main character, Yang Jason, was different from everyone else as he had the ability to see ghosts. In order to save money, he moved from his apartment to a cheap house which was rumored to be haunted by ghosts. Unfortunately for him, he becomes the target of a killer ghost on the first day, and in order to save himself, he runs to a temple where he meets a specter who just looks like a human. The art of this manhwa is really good and its story entertaining. It's a completed manhwa with 100 plus chapters. So, if you haven't read this, then be sure to try it out. Number 7. Way to Heaven. The main character, Jinmu Shinmo, was an orphan who lived with his siblings alone in a hut. They were even struggling to afford food. But one day, his life changes completely when he meets an old lady who claims to be his grandmother. Follow him as he trains hard with the help of his grandmother and becomes strong. The art of this manhwa is good but its story is awesome. The main character trains hard and becomes stronger. He also goes through character development and also becomes mature. This is an ongoing manga with 100 plus chapters. Number 6. Ans. The protagonist Ans lived on a continent protected by the 4 great witches. Just when the world was looking for the next great witch of wind, Ans enrolls in Winfred Academy, a prestigious school of magic, carrying the powers of the previous great witch of wind. The story is this manhwa is good and its art is also quite nice. The main character has a tragic past and is strong right from the start of the story. But despite being strong, he stays low-key and pretends to be weak. There are also quite a few surprising elements and plot twists in this manhwa which makes it much more entertaining to read. Number 5. The Undefeatable Swordsman. The main character, Sungwoo Moon, was a weak and fragile guy who wasn't suited for practicing martial arts. But one day everything changed when Sungwoo Moon's condition worsens as he loses his mental capacities while staring at a painting gifted by a sage. He grows up as the village idiot, pitied by his own parents. But unbeknownst to everyone, his life is about to change soon, and a new destiny awaits him. The art and the story of this manhwa is good. The main character starts off weak at the start but gets stronger as the story progresses. So try it out if you haven't read. Number 4. Mashal. In this world, magic is used for everything. Be it a daily task or important work. But deep in the forest exists a young man who spends his time training and bulking up. Although he can't use magic, he enjoys a peaceful life with his father and training his body to the utmost limit. Follow him as he gets to a new hometown. It's an ongoing manga with 100 plus chapters and the art and the story of this manga is really good. The main character is overpowered right from the start and is also very kind. So if you haven't read this manga till now, then you should try reading it out. Number 3. Kill the Hero. Wu Jin was a high-level player and a member of the Messiah Guild that was thought to bring salvation to the world. Later, he gets killed by his own guild leader and realizes that everything the world knew about his guild was false. However, he gets a second chance and opens his eyes on the day of his awakening. Now that he knows the intentions of his previous guild leader, Woojin must do everything in his power to destroy him. Number 2. Dreamside. The main character, Hazen Nam, has always been plagued by nightmares about the same thing. But one day, he dreams of an apocalyptic world that took 7 years in the future where humans were fighting demons and zombies in order to survive. Thinking of this dream as another nightmare, he dismisses it until he finds out that Yuri Hong, the girl he had seen in his dream, has suddenly transferred to his school. The art and the story of this manhwa is good, plus this is an ongoing manhwa with over 100 chapters. The main character has a unique power like no others which he uses to his advantage. So if you haven't read this till now, then try reading it. Number 1. Mukyang Dark Lady. The main character, Mukyang, was a powerful Murim warrior, who one day was sent to another world of magic because of a plan made by the demonic cult leader. This is the story of how he finds himself in another world and tries to adapt to the changes. Follow him as he discovers the land of magic with his own martial arts. The art and the story of this manhwa is good. It's an ongoing manga with over 100 chapters too. And this series is a sequel to the Mukyang the Origin. So I definitely recommend you to read this out if you haven't read it yet.